Let's start off with learning a little bit about the Daring Sequence Youth Foundation. What is it, and what are your goals and aims through this foundation?
Well, the Daring Sequence Youth Foundation was created to do motivational seminars, educational seminars through sport and culture and education for the youths of Trinidad and Tobago, because I youth myself, how I grew, where I come from, because when I was sitting common entrance, I had a whole fiasco. We didn't have lights in the house. You know, it was a whole fight down with family. We end up on the street. So I know the struggles, the pain, not having a pencil, not having breakfast, not having lunch. Right? And then I went through a turmoil after that. I ended up with a spirit blow. So I was down for 6 weeks. They say I couldn't walk and come back. So when I came back to life, the gods let me know this is what I have to do.
Right.
I have to come back and feed the place and feed the soil with the knowledge. Right. So the Daring Sequence Youth Foundation was to create that, enhance sportsmen and young entrepreneurs, to create a personal portfolio, to enhance the career. All right. If you watch what we have done over the years, we have worked with a lot of NGOs, church organizations in the past. You know, rest in peace to Kilimanjaro School of Arts and Culture, Dragon and Juvenile from Cocorit, award, a Shakonia Gold Award for culture and arts. So it's a blessing to give back, you know, to the less fortunate, to see the cries of the people and to see the love Trinidad and Tobago have. That is the culture we come from.
Yes.
And a lot of people forget that. The place get kind of rhymey. Some people are say grimy, I say rhymey. And a lot of youths not academically inclined. So that's why I lobby for trades. We go back trades in school. We don't only want books. We don't only want computers, because trade bringing a lot of youths out of poverty and sports. Because a lot of youths might be able to read or say the ABC, but they might be able to pelt a ball. They might be able to kick a ball. Might be able to sing. They might be able to weld. They might be able to join a pipe. So I think this is the last book drive the Daring Sequence Youth Foundation will be doing. I want to say that here on Tobago Updates this morning. So our next initiative, we'll be doing a trade seminar for the next August vacation. So we'll be teaching auto mechanics, plumbing, masonry, carpentry. So that is the direction the foundation is going in. Also, we're working with the United Nations with the 2030 goals of eradicating dropouts out of schools. Thanks to the Quantum Foundation, C.J. Williams, and the whole team out there in the United Nations in Queen's Park West. We have tight. So basically, that's it there.
Every time I hear someone come on to Tobago Updates and speak about not every youth is academically inclined, I am happy that there are people who are coming to this conclusion and realizing how important it is that our youths, apart from academics, they need to be facilitated in trades and sports and all of these things. It's very, very important. And your theme for this year for the back to school drive is the pen is mightier than the gun.
Well, that's my slogan for over 23 years.
Right? And it just goes to show how you're tying back in everything that you believe into what you're doing, and we are really appreciative of you taking that step and doing that for us. So you're distributing supplies across 30 schools across Trinidad and Tobago. Tell us a bit more about that.
Well, so it's 30 schools show Trinidad and Tobago, 18 from Trinidad and 12 from Tobago. Each school will select 10 children that which we are say less fortunate, but we're eradicating that now, that need the assistance due to financial constraints or due to whatever purpose. So we're not saying less fortunate again. We stop tagging our people as less fortunate. We stop looking down at our people. We advocating for love. So we just want to bless each school to pick 10 children to get a hamper, which will be a school bag, a sneakers, a dozen copybooks, a dozen pens, pencils, ruler, sharpener, everything. All right, which they will get without that. So we have Trinidad on the 16th of August at the St. James Youth Center. Now the information on the flyer, right? Due to the graphic artist. That is no fault of Daring Sequence. All right. So the 16th of August, we like to do it at the St. James Youth Center, Trinidad. We have Mokorapo Boys, Mokorapo Girls, St. Agnes, Games Normal, just name it, Cookery, the Jamaat, Al Muslimin, Patna, Government, Rivers. We have plenty of schools. Bethlehem, in St. Paul Street, we have Nelson Street Boys, we have Belmont Boys. These are communities that, you know, need it. And in Tobago, on the 23rd of August, because the 16th of August is Great Race. So the 23rd of August, we do it in Tobago for Charlottesville, Palo Tuve, Castara, we have Bonaccord, we have Speyside, we have Plymouth, we have Buku, you understand, we have Speyside, we have St. Patrick's Anglican, we have Bethesda, we have Table Peace. These are schools we didn't only work with, because last Christmas we was here with the drive where we take Anomaly, a Tobago artist, and came to the school and we shared the Christmas joy.
Right.
We did lots of stuff through the pandemic. Even the principal from Table P, she did an interview. She said our stuff helped children from there to pass for Bishop's High. So people balling on technology. Thanks to the Ministry of Education for giving the laptops. Thanks again this morning, as you see textbooks review just now on the screen, for the hard work we've been doing.
Yes.
We want to thank the Ministry of Education for that, for leaving the textbooks as it is. That's a big burden off of Trinidad and Tobago. That is progress. I could safely say that, you know, not bigging up the Ministry or being political, but we're giving credit to what good works is being done for the nation, because the fabric of our future lies in the nation children, not in your school bag, because not everybody able to throw the burden of the school bag. And we understand what I say, books heavy, you know.
Yeah.
Because when books on your mind, a lot of people we see on the streets today, is books are them there. So you have to understand the science and the physics of this. So we want to thank some of our sponsors quick. Moonova Waters Bar in Pleasant Prospect. Before they say I forget them, Mr. Pumpkin, Minimart and Car Accessories in Bethel. Mother, you know, Beverly Ramsey, more president of Pantry Tobago, my mother of Tobago, big hub. Thanks for that. We see Cats and Jammers doing a nice initiative with the youth pan summer camp. So this is the direction we'll be going with next year. A lot of camps you'll be seeing thanks to that. You see RBC over in Bethel and all, they have the camp.
Yeah.
So that is the directions. All who doing things good in Tobago, who have supported there in sequence over the years. Thanks. Tobago Updates, love. We appreciate this interview. It's a pleasure to be here with this gorgeous staff. It's an honor to be in the company of, you know, shining the light on good works, because a lot of negativity going on in Trinidad and Tobago today. So parents, Trinidad and Tobago, don't worry, you have to buy textbooks, and they're in sequences here to help with some of the stationaries. So we're feeling a little relaxed. Sorry.
Yes.
What do you think? That is good?
Yes,
Yeah.
that is very good. What I want to know, right? Because I don't know if people have recognized on your T-shirt that there are several several partners with the Daring Sequence Youth Foundation to get those goals accomplished, right? So in light of that, what makes your back to school drive different from the rest? Because we know we have a lot of back to school drives happening right now. What makes Daring Sequences Youth Foundation back to school drive unique?
What makes my back to school drive unique is not just that we give you a book and a pencil and it could done. Right? Our back to school drive was able to work with a lot of international. They're in Sequence Youth Foundation. As you could see, Sizzler Youth Foundation. Everybody know Miguel Orlando Collins from Jamaica. One of my mentors for 23 years now. You just see the interview. He had a show last month and it canceled with Vibes Cartel. And he stayed back and do a show to make sure some of the funds could fulfill his obligation to the Daring Sequence Youth Foundation and to the youths of Trinidad and Tobago, because Trinidad and Tobago is one of the first place he ever did a show in his whole career. So Trinidad is very close. Then we have I Support Positive Youths. Well, you know the camera go it, right? I Support Positive Youths, which is from British Virgin Island, which is Gumption. If you look right now on their page, you'll see they're now pouring lights in Africa and a field where never had lights before, and they're building a school in Africa. Right? I was entitled to meet that team with Sizzler. They come to see Sizzler, and I how the unit join. And then we have a family from Trinidad who live in America named Kanai Foundation, who doing work for 29 years in America. They also come aboard with the initiative, because myself, if you follow my history, I've been doing a lot of work. I have a lot unrecognized. The streets know that.
Yeah.
I was even the guy who carried Christmas lists around the other day. I don't know if you realize that. Even when the guy locked up, I was to bail him. So you understand, the streets. I've been doing this over 23 years. I've been lobbying through the vineyards, through the streets for my people of Trinidad and Tobago. I've been stamped down, I've been neglected. My family vexed with me. You know, my son vexed with me because he find daddy in that time. But one day he will understand the vision. Because I know I was born to do. I'm not doing this for fame. I'm just the vessel carrying this message. As I say, I know about common entrance. We had I was down in my life with what's called OB and the local parlance that couldn't walk, and the God said, well boy, you have to give back, and this is how I want to do this, and I walk in the earth now carrying this message. So Sizzler is my friend for 23 years. Watch the documentaries, watch the page. Whole of Trinidad and Tobago know that British Virgin Island is nice. It's about even I did things with O2 oxygen, Nicole Dyer, when it had the big flood in Grenada and certain places. We did work all in Grenada, St. Vincent, with a lot of other NGOs. We did mentoring boys industrial. You remember St. Michael Home for Boys? Ayana Webster, I don't know why they closed it down. still today. So it's a lot. I've been in the vineyard, but I'm not recognized because the media, I used to work media. I was relieved of my media work for Buju Banton with the altercation with Gary Griffith and them in the hotel. You remember that? You see, look how far. So I was relieved of my media work for that. I've been through the trenches and been fight down because the messages, and we're not bowing out. Trinidad and Tobago is love. We're reaching our place now. We feel a relief for the boat drive. I'm honored to be here. As a youth myself who come out of the vineyard, we know it is not a have. That's the reason why we're doing this. And the pen is mightier than the gun. The guns that manufactured in Trinidad and Tobago never were killing the people in Trinidad and Tobago. The youth was never manufactured in Trinidad and Tobago. It's forbidden to kill. If you kill one man, you come like kill the whole of mankind. So people have to understand. We see former governments went to the World Court and sue for guns coming in the island. A lot of youths being astray because it have no mentors. And I want to call on the mentors and the role models to come out today, like the Dwight York, the Brian Lara, the Keyshawn Walker, the Kyron Paula, the DJ Bravo, come out and motivate the youths. Because it have an evil element in this society drifting the youths.
Very true.
And we need the role models because who want to be a Dwight York again? Who want to look up to Lara? We don't have the mentorship. Community centers need things in the evening. Long time we had tailoring, we had home ec. We had doily, knitting, crochet. We need to bring back these things in the culture.
Yeah, as you mentioned earlier, that you would be going into these programs as times progress, and we look forward to that.
Yeah.
And we just want to thank you so much for coming here this morning and sharing about the book drive and all the upcoming initiatives that you have.
Yeah.
And before we go, we just want you to help us share the live, share the live, share the live.
Want to get better? Where to start? What kind of exercise to do? What to eat? How to get restful sleep? Need a doctor to search for root cause? Look no further. Come to Majuba Hill Lifestyle Center Foundation at our Wellness Center in Goodwood, or Food Hub in Darrow Springs, Scarborough, or Doctor's Office in Goodwood and Darrow Spring. Contact 49 Swift 4979 438.
Coconut's Cafe, the buffet restaurant that specializes in all your tasty local dishes. For breakfast and for lunch. Breakfast includes coconut bake and sada roti, served with chokers, bull joil, and sausages in tomato sauce. Not forgetting beef and cheese pies, shepherd's pie, macaroni pie, and rice in various styles. Meat served in a variety of flavors, garden salads, and pasta salads. All this accompanied by fruit juices, coconut water, your choice of a great combination to appease your taste buds. So call us today to order, as we are here to accommodate your busy schedules, or if you are having a cooking day off.
My name is Tina Macmillan, your last year's third place winner and the Miss Photogenic for last year's Miss Heritage Personality Show. And this year, I want to carry you with me for my Tobago Heritage experience. I'll be hosting With Tobago Updates, bringing you live coverage behind the scenes and also their giveaways, tickets to the heritage events, and a 2-night stay to the Mandalina Grand. So you need to stay locked on to Tobago Updates on all their social media platforms, Tina Macmillan on Facebook, and originalmedusa.tt on TikTok. My Tobago Heritage experience with Tobago Updates. Stay tuned.
Do something and roll back, come let me reel. I make a brush back. Do something and roll back, come let me reel. I make a brush back. Do something and do something.
With Flow Business's new smart solutions, powered by super fast, reliable broadband, you'll feel like there are more versions of you working for you. From website design, development, and digital marketing to promote your business, 24/7 business class support to cloud solutions, security, and more. Multiply your growth today.
Are you ready to celebrate the essence of Crusoe land and the culture of Tobago? Well, get ready for Tobago Day in New York City, hosted by the Tobago Empowerment and Alliance Mission, Sunday, August 17th, 2025, Nazareth High School Courtyard, 475 East 57th Street, Brooklyn, New York, 12 noon to 8 p.m. We bring the Tobago vibes to the Big Apple. Live music, Tobago food, cultural performances and family fun. So bring Tanty, Granny, the uncle, invite the whole neighborhood. Just bring everybody and bring your significant other too. Come celebrate Tobago Day in New York City, Sunday, August 17th, Nazareth High School Courtyard. But I forget to tell all you, it's the 10th anniversary celebration. For more information, call 929-327-7857 or check Team's Facebook and Instagram pages, Team Tobago Day.
It's a different type of thing down there. And we party till we drop down there. With a lot of pretty girls down there. Down in Tobago.
Put a smile on your face when you're moving from place to place. Good morning, good morning, morning, good morning, morning.
Good morning and welcome back to Youth Wednesdays on Tobago Updates. We are here with our second interviewees for this morning, here to speak to you all on my favorite topic, and that is food. Now let me tell you why I'm excited about this, right? Ty Noel and Emily Siratan, we were having a small discussion about what this event caters to and what it is about to do for the Caribbean. And let me tell you all, I am excited. Not just to eat the dishes, but to hear the ideas that they have to bring to the table. So let me introduce you all to Head Chef Emily Siratan and Sous Chef Ty Noel this morning. Good morning to you all.
Good morning.
Good morning. I love this smile on your faces, just to tell us about what we can look forward to from Caribbean Fusion. But first up, what is Caribbean Fusion and how did this idea come about?
Well, this idea came about from the ongoing Heritage Festival right now. Yeah.
All right. Okay. And okay, what about the Heritage Festival pushed you to think about having this Caribbean Fusion event?
How they combine all this stuff. Like, if you go to Charlottesville, you would see one heritage, but if you go to Mason Hall, you might see another heritage. So we just try to combine everything into one.
All right. And what does Caribbean Fusion cater to? So I'm hearing a lot of combining. You know, normally they'll tell us, you know, don't mix other food. Eat the food as is. Tell me what you all decided to combine to try. Very excited to hear this.
We decided not to make a normal pone, but we decided to make a sweet potato cassava pone.
Okay.
And fusing it with, well, not fusing it, but with a red mango compote and a dashing pancha creme shot.
That's one of the recipes that we can look forward to?
Yes, that's our dessert.
Looking scared, but still excited at the same time. Ty, anything you want to add? This was just the pone. I'm hearing that there are a lot of recipes that we can look forward to.
We also have two options for the appetizer, a vegetarian and a meat option. For the meat, we have a plantain shell with chicken mussolini filling, and for vegetarian option we have a coconut baked bruschetta with an avocado spread and tomato sauce with soy chunks.
Okay, I'm not going to come down on the vegetarians, but for myself, where I heard that plantain infused chicken that you're speaking about.
No, it's a plantain shell, like a cup, and it's filled with a chicken mussolini.
All right, and what is this chicken mussolini?
It's like a, how to explain it, like a shredded jerk chicken, and it's like a spread, a filling, and you put it in a piping bag and you fill the shell.
Okay. All right, so let's go into some details about how I should dress for this event, because I am coming. All right, this Caribbean Fusion event, when will it be held?
It will be held on 31st July. Only $10, at the THTI school at the top of the main restaurant of 6:30 p.m.
Okay, so this is the THTI Institute in Blenheim?
Yeah.
Right. Okay, so we're going to Blenheim for only $300 to have these fusions of meals. Only $300, guys. All right, so would we be able to see you all, speak to us, interact with us? What things can we also look forward to besides the wonderful food that you all are speaking about? Any entertainment that we could look forward to when we come to Caribbean Fusion?
Well, the entertainment should be a surprise. But I would say look forward to our customer service. We give customer service like never before. Things to make you come back.
All right. And any inspiration behind some of the dishes that you all made? What made you taste red mango and decide to fuse it in with pone? What made you see a ripe plantain shell and decide to throw chicken in it? What was the inspiration behind your dishes?
Creativity. And a bowl, some people don't take that step, so we take the step for you.
Oh, all right. I'm loving what I'm hearing. And what about you, Ty? What was the inspiration behind your chicken mussolini? I don't want to butcher that word.
Well, the way we came up with everything was that as a class, we all came together as a group and we had different ideas and opinions. We had few challenges, like one person wanted to do this and the next person wanted to do that. But at the end, we all came together and chose one dish.
All right. Okay, so thank you so much, Ty, Noel, and Emily Siratan, for coming to tell us about Caribbean Fusion. This event takes place on July 31st. That's next week, Thursday. Yeah. At what time?
6:30 p.m.
6:30 p.m. at the THTI Institute, and that's in Blenheim. I know a lot of us are familiar with the THTI. They bring to us a lot of exciting dishes to taste, and we can expect those exciting dishes at Caribbean Fusion on July 31st at 6:30 p.m., where Ty and Emily will be bringing to us their special dish. A lot to look forward to, a lot to plan for. Ty and Emily, thank you once again for joining us on Youth Wednesdays on Tobago Updates. Viewers, we are not leaving out other traditional dishes. They spoke to us about Caribbean dishes. There's another group coming to us to speak to us about a journey through Chinese elements. So let's stay tuned and share the live, share the live, share the live. We'll be right back.
It's a different type of thing down there. And we party till we drop down there. With a lot of pretty girls down there. Down in Tobago.
TNTech is pleased to advise that its Roxborough Service Center has reopened. Starting Monday, 10th March, customers can once more visit the Roxborough Administrative Building to pay TNTech bills, request new connections, and more. TNTech, powering the nation into the next generation.
Goals, we've got them. At S&R Hair Fantasy, we provide a wide variety of quality hair, the latest hair accessories, adult toys, skin lightening products, female underwear, and much more under one roof. Check us out on Shelbourne Street in Plymouth or call us at 317-0808. We're open Monday through Saturday, 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. S&R Hair Fantasy for queens who know exactly what they want.
I see girls, I see fun, I see winding up in the sun, I see 10 bottle of rum, DJ start the thing, let me jump. Cause I see girls, I see fun, I see winding up in the sun, I see 10 girls to a man, DJ start the thing, let me ram my shit. When my team touch down, everything get wild. Hey, hey, hey.
place, place. Good morning, good morning, morning, good morning, morning.
Continue with the food talks coming straight out of THTI. Now I'm joined with another set of students here from the THTI, and they're here excited to tell you about their aspect of the dinner. Now, I learned a lot just in the break. I know a lot of us may not know, but THTI hosts a lot of dinners, right? And for this dinner, they have split this dinner into two main segments. We learned about Caribbean fusion in the last interview that we did, and now we're going to go into a journey through Chinese elements. All right, we're here joined with head chef Cherise Bisundath. I don't want to butcher anyone's name, and sous chef Javon Thompson, here to speak to us about a journey through Chinese elements. Good morning to you both.
Good morning.
Good morning. Thank you for having us.
Thank you for being here. Now, let me tell you one thing. I mean, I know the group, they were very, very secretive. You know, they don't want to tell us about what they'll be fusing. But let me tell you, this journey through Chinese elements group is ready to tell you what they have in store. All right. But my first question to you is, now I'm looking at the fact that the other group is focusing on the Chinese fusion, the Caribbean fusion. So, you know, their inspiration clearly comes from the Caribbean dishes that we normally have, and they did their little creative thing. But what inspired you all to focus on Chinese meals?
So actually, a couple of our chef lecturers at school, they went on an expedition in China for 4 weeks.
Okay.
So they really spent time developing their palates and speaking to people about like traditional Chinese cuisine. So they brought it back to us to educate us more and to really learn true Chinese cuisine.
Okay, I'm very happy to hear that you all are interested in exploring Chinese cuisine. Now, Javon, what inspires you to be a chef and to also contribute to this great idea of Chinese cuisine?
Well, my inspiration to be a chef is that I love the kitchen. I love to cook. I love to feed people. I like to experiment as well.
I want you to throw in the part where you told me before. You like your belly.
Oh,
And
I should tell you that. I love my belly as well, too.
Right.
But with the Chinese experience, I saw it as a nice way to challenge myself in infusing cultures, because we have a lot of cultures that infuse already. So we looked at infusing cultures, and trust me, it's going to wow you.
Right. So Javon gave me that introduction, you know, that kind of, you get it too, right? Right. So he said it's going to wow you. So Javon, what exactly is going to wow me? What type of dishes can I look forward to?
Well, we could start off with the appetizers. That's the pepper pot dumpling. Yeah, she swallowed, boy. Yeah, the pepper pot dumpling. That's we took the dumpling aspect from the Chinese and the local pepper pot.
The reason why I paused is because I know about pepper pot chicken from the Chinese.
No. So the pepper pot we're doing is primarily from Trinidad and Guyana.
Right.
So we're going to use Chinese dumpling wrappers. You know how they'll have like in dim sum or in dumplings, like how it has in Dim Sum King recently. We really took inspiration from new trends within Trinidad as well. And we wanted to incorporate everything, both be traditional and both have a fusion of our culture.
No, I'm just looking at what I could eat when I come to the event, right? You spoke about the dim sum style dumplings, right? So what exactly would be in the dumpling? Just want to know what I have to cater to.
The pepper pot aspect of it.
Right.
So the pepper pot may contain a lot of meats. So you have a variety of meats in the pepper pot. So we would put that, not too big, just a little taste in the dumplings, and then pass it back in the hot water to serve.
Right, so I'm getting hungry. Right, so we're on to the main course. What can I look forward to in the main course?
So we'll be starting with, we have 3 options. We're going to go vegetarian, 2 proteins. So one will be chicken and one will be pork. So the pork will be a citrus hot honey slow roasted pork loin.
Okay.
And that's going to be over some stir fried pad thai style noodles. It's going to be really good.
Yeah.
And then for the chicken, we're going to have a spice grilled chicken, and it's going to be stuffed with a shiitake mushroom filling. and it's going to be over bean sprout fried rice. So we're really excited about that one to try it out. Everything is going to take a lot of time to prepare, but we are really enthusiastic that everybody is going to enjoy it.
So in light of that, right, because I don't like, no, please, restaurants, don't ban me. I don't like to go to restaurants and sit down 20, 30 minutes waiting for food, right? So is it that we could put in orders prior to coming to the event? Can we do that?
Not really. The orders would be placed when upon purchasing the ticket.
Right.
But the sitting down long part
is not going to happen.
It's not going to happen.
Okay. All right. I'm really happy to hear this, Javon. I'm getting myself ready as I said. Yeah. So okay. So tell me about what you all will be catering to in terms of entertainment, because we're talking about the food aspect. The Caribbean Fusion team said it would mainly be a surprise, but could you give me any intel? Could you just shed some light on what we could expect entertainment wise?
No, accepted us. It's a surprise.
I might have to disappoint you a little bit, but everything is to be seen on the day. It's our first dinner. We want everything to be correlated and people to come and see something they've never seen before.
Right. And in terms of the drinks?
Yes. So we have a bar, a frontside bar catered by the students. So also we'll be doing beverage service for the students. So everything incorporates into the school well, where everybody learns something. So we have some Chinese elements in the drinks, which we won't tell you as yet. But then we also have traditional cocktails, mojitos, pina coladas, daiquiris, things like that.
Both non-alcoholic as
and
well.
Alcoholic.
Both alcoholic and non-alcoholic. I'll be on the non-alcoholic part of the table. Right. So, Cherise and Javon, I want to thank you so much for joining us here on Tobago Updates. This is a lovely interview, both for Caribbean Fusion and the journey through Chinese elements. I'm very excited to see what THDI has to bring to the table for this event, especially. And it's only $300 to have all of these meals catered to you throughout the course of the night. It starts at 6:30, and of course, it's the same date. That is July 31st. That's next week, Thursday. Please be on time.
Ours is 29th.
Yes.
Yours is the 29th. So we're looking forward to two sets of events coming from the THTI.
Yes.
That we can eat at. Both at so don't be surprised if you see my face twice.
That's not a problem.
I'll see Mr. Fair. I'll tell them on the listed.
All right. So is there a separate price, seeing that there are two different dates? Is there a separate price to coming to your event and Caribbean Fusion?
No, so everything is the same price. So $300 for both sides of the dinners. If you want to get tickets, you could go on thdi.com. They have availability for booking, and they usually have bank transfer, cash, or links in school. So you could do whatever. But make sure and reserve your seats because they're filling up fast.
Now, the fact that you all have links on these type of things, I think they're in it to know. The students are ready to serve you. They're ready to serve me, right? So I am there for the Chinese style food and, of course, Caribbean Fusion. So once again, thank you, Cherise and Javon, for coming to shed some light on what we can expect from the THDI on the 29th and the 31st. All right? See you all there. And on time at 6:30 p.m.
6:30 to 9.
All right. Thanks for having us.
6:30 to 9. Thank you so much for being here, Javon. Viewers, we have more in store for you. It might not be food-wise, not very tasty, but very much exciting. So I encourage you to stay tuned and share the live, share the live, share the live. We'll be right back.
I see girls, I see fun, I see winding up in the sun, I see 10 bottle of rum, DJ start the thing, let me jump. Cause I see girls, I see fun, I see winding up in the sun, I see 10 girls to a man, DJ start the thing, let me rum my shit. When my team touch down, everything get wild. Hey, 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 take out your flag and fling it up, take out something and fling it up, fling it up, fling it up high. Hey, 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 start to jump up and fling it up, take out something and fling it up.
Glass Supplies, where innovation meets excellence and service reigns supreme.
Well, I want a proper window for me house, yeah? I want no shake thing in my place.
Our commitment is simple: to provide high-quality, innovative aluminum, vinyl, and glass solutions for both commercial and residential spaces.
We get one wall on the side and we get one hole. You can put a window there, invent something, a window for put there.
At TGSL, we don't just meet needs, we exceed expectations. Our range includes the finest aluminum cladding options, setting new standards in durability and style.
Well, me meet ya. Me don't know who I'm talking to, but I the cousin Tofina tell me for call all you go get proper thing for put that. Me don't know.
Driven by our passion to elevate, we aim to be the leading supplier in the Caribbean market while retaining our identity as a family-owned business.
Driven? No, I ain't driving. I get a bus ticket. One of me picnic them will drop me down there. Must bring me down there. Russo Trade Springer down by the place down there.
Because at Tobago Glass Supplies Limited, it's not just about products, it's about relationships. It's about you.
It's all about me? Who's your family? You know Edna and Dorka and them, you know them, but you resemble them Edward boy and them Edward people them you.
Tobago Glass Supplies, Russo Trade Spring Garden, telephone number 639-6266. Innovation, quality, service. That's Tobago Glass Supplies Limited.
Put a smile on your face when you're moving from place to place. Good morning, good morning, morning, good morning, morning.
Welcome back to Youth Wednesdays on Tobago Updates, and we are here at the end of our show, Renessa. We are here, but of course we can't leave you all without. I'll just put it there, right? Of course we have to end on a very exciting note, a very picturesque note, a very fun-filled note. Yeah, Renessa and I, yes, we're smiling at each other because we have a lot to talk to you about still, but in this very little time, we'll try our best to just condense that information. So first up, we'll start with the picture of the day, coming to you from Celeste Hart, Washington. Now, I asked Renessa to just guess where this lovely picture comes from, this scenic picture comes from. And Renessa said,
this is Black Rock. I know a lot of people go here in between the two rocks where you're seeing the water flowing. They take a lot of photo shoots there. It's very picturesque. We have quite a few of our Tobago photographers who go there, and if you go to their pages, you would see all the creative vision that goes into creating these shoots in this location.
Yes, and I know that that small gap between there, it gives them that, especially on days like that where the sand separates one half of the beach from the other. A lot of couples do their engagement shoots there.
That is very true.
That I know about, right?
There are also some maternity shoots that are done there as well.
Correct, yeah. So this photo of the day, love it, very picturesque. It brings a lot of family-centered memories to us from the photo shoot aspects of things, seeing them on social media and stuff like that, right? So thank you so much, Celeste, for sending in that photo. We appreciate it so much. You brought a little bit of joy to our eyes this morning before we continue on for the rest of the day, right? And of course, we have our Heritage Festival that continues on. Now we have the dates on the board. We know that today is the 23rd. So those of us who may have missed, unfortunately, that lovely Natural Treasures Day in Charlotte. I missed it as well, right?
But it was good to see the tambu bamboo, the cocoa dancing, and a few other of our very lovely treasures that we usually showcase on that day out in full display.
You know, a lot of people talking about this Battimil thing. Somebody even said, you know, how could we just say that just like that? Well, I mean, that's the name of the thing.
That's a part of our culture.
Yeah,
that's a part of our culture. That's
right?
what makes us unique.
So I think I saw one of our hosts here at Tobago Update. She tried the Battimil as well. Very, very job well done, I guess, in juicing that cane. I saw a lot of juices flowing and stuff like that, you know. So we do have a lot to look forward to from the Heritage Festival. So, Renessa, if you, just like us, if you had missed that Heritage and National Natural Treasures Day in Charlottesville on Monday, on the 23rd, and that is today.
Yes.
We have Salaka Feast.
Salaka Feast.
Right. So, Renessa, I mean, it's just, I mean, we are both adults. You know, Renessa could probably pass us, you know, the child free. Right? But we are both adults, and
it's
Renessa,
only 50 TT.
Only 50 TT. I mean, if Renessa and I come together, we say, Renessa, withdraw 100. Both Renessa and I could go into the Salaka Fest. Time change massa at the Pembroke Heritage Park.
At
you know,
8 p.m. and it's after work.
Exactly. So, Natural Treasures Day might have catered to those who may have taken the day, you know, boss, I really can't come to work today, right? I'm going to Natural Treasures Day. For those who weren't able to do that, like Renessa and I, we can go to Salaka Feast.
Yes.
Right? And of course, we have a lot of other events coming forward for the Tobago Heritage Festival. I think it culminates on the, Renessa, help me here again.
It's on the 1st of August.
1st of August,
yes.
And that is the Emancipation Day reenactment. But before we get to the reenactment, we have a lot in store for, why am I saying we? They have a lot in store for us, all right?
It's we because it's Tobago.
True, very true. So if you know friends that want to come from Trinidad, you know, wondering what I could do today, here is a list of activities stretching from the 21st all until the 1st of August. It's a lot. You have the Belmana Riots coming soon, Black Rock Sea Festival, Legacy of Africa.
The Belmana Riots is one you must not miss.
Well,
I've been there last year and it was amazing. Despite the weather, it was really nice to experience and be a part of your heritage and being able to truly witness what some of our foreparents had to go through to get to the point where they are here in Tobago and some of the things that we have going forward.
I think Tobagonians have proven that no matter what weather we are having, we come out in our numbers. You know, there was that one concert where everybody was out there with their umbrellas. I don't think heritage is separate and apart from what we can do in the rain, right? So a lot to look forward to from our Tobago Heritage Festival. And Renessa, that brings us to the end of our conversation, unfortunately.
End of yet another Youth Wednesday.
True. You'll see us next week again. God spare life, Renessa. You'll be here, front and center.
We'll be here.
Correct. Right? So we look forward to seeing you all. Up next, we have GMT with Miss Chanel Felix. But until then, share the live, share the live, share the live.
We are here at the Scarborough General Hospital Medical Imaging Department. This morning, we actually hand over our brand new 64-slice CT scanner, replacing the 16-slice scanner that we've had since the inception of the hospital. We've had a CT scanner, but this 64-slice would enable us to have faster images. So it's, of course, shorter scan time for our patients, better imaging quality, so we'll be able to see detail in a much more efficient fashion, enabling better diagnosis, and it will also enable us to do things like CT angiography that we could not have done.
So it is really, really an honor being here this morning to finally participate in this ceremony. Of course, we know that the CT scan is one of those pieces of equipment that can really help us with a whole lot. Its capacity to see what is happening within the body means that it can help us when we're dealing with trauma, even when we're dealing with NCDs, when we're dealing with a full gamut, cancers, when we're dealing with a full gamut of diseases in terms of diagnostics. Ready?
exist in a world where there's a glass ceiling for women. You know, women reach great heights, but they are scrutinized in the way in which they do it. To exist in a world as one as this one where it's patriarchal, I feel like I have something to prove, and every day I wake up and I try to prove that. I try to exist to be the best version of myself. The vision that I have for my life is that I want to be a woman of service. I want to give myself back to Trinidad and Tobago and be the best that I can be, and that's what it means to be a woman. I'd also like to give a special thanks to my mom. She's a lawyer, and I want to study law and become a lawyer. Well, start off as a lawyer and give myself to the best of my country and be a female. You know, I want to be able to give young females such as myself something to look forward to. So that's why I say it means to be a woman, to be powerful, to be strong, to be yourself, to be poised, to be elegant.
I am empowered as a woman because we stand on the shoulders of such excellent women in Trinidad and Tobago. I know that I could stand up and be authentically myself and not have to worry about what somebody says about me, because we have moved so far in the empowerment, the development, the advocacy and all of these things. So I am empowered in knowing I could do whatever I want to do as a young woman. And I just want to encourage other young women to follow that step and know that you can do whatever you want to do, and you have backing, you have a sisterhood, you have a community, and that is what I have to say for International Women's Day.
She is a mother, she is a daughter, she is a wife, she is a sister, she is your best friend, she is a woman. So many roles, so much work, yet she never complains. Yes, that's the power of a woman. As the world recently celebrated International Women's Day, an empowerment symposium was held hosted by girls of Impact TNT in partnership with the YES program under the Division of Community Development, Youth Development and Sport, where young women from the secondary schools on the island participated. These young women had the opportunity to interact with some esteemed women in the Tobago space as they imparted knowledge in various areas of self-confidence, physical and mental well-being, goal setting, and financial independence. And the female students did not hesitate to share their views on International Women's Day, as well as women who they admire.
I'm so thankful for the opportunity to be here today. For me, what makes me feel empowered as being a woman is that we wake up every day and we have role models such as our moms, our grandmothers, the women that came before us, that's our previous path, so that we can have the opportunities that we have for today. Just to be here is very empowering. To see so many successful women come and have a panel before us so that we can obtain some of their information and knowledge, it's amazing.
Being a woman means that you have to be proud of being a woman, and you have to represent yourself proudly and present yourself in a certain way where people could say, well, not to satisfy anybody, but to be independent. And this whole institution means to me that you could exceed and understand and to influence other girls to be a proud woman or a proud young girl.
International Women's Day is a...
You're viewing Tobago Updates Television, your exclusive gateway to Tobago, broadcasting the beauty of this island paradise to the world.
good morning, and welcome back to Good Morning Tobago right here on Tobago Updates. I am your host, Chanel Felix, and whenever you see me sitting here, it's because we're about to have those conversations you want to have while I ask those questions that you want asked. But before we get into this morning's interesting topics and conversations, let's have our news in 90 seconds. THA Chief Secretary Farley Augustine is facing public backlash after posting a video to Instagram stories of himself changing clothes on the roadside, revealing his boxers and boxer shorts and vest. The clip, meant to show the hectic pace of his schedule, quickly went viral before being deleted. Among the critics was former Tobago East MP Ayanna Webster Roy, who penned an open letter expressing disappointment. She questioned his judgment behind publicly posting such a moment, calling it unnecessary and unbecoming of the island's highest office. Webster Roy urged Augustine to balance authenticity with dignity, reminding him that leadership carries the weight of public expectation and respect. Additionally, kidnapped woman rescued by police and prison officers facing threats. The TTPS rescued kidnapped victim Janki Sati Karim during an overnight operation on July 21st to 22nd. One woman was arrested. 2 men linked to a criminal syndicate were fatally shot in Rampanalgas and Arima. Following the rescue, credible intel revealed planned attacks on police and prison officers. With a state of emergency still in effect, officers are being warned to stay alert. Security protocols are being strengthened as the TTPS moves to disrupt further threats. And that was our news in 90 seconds. Now, this morning, I have the privilege of sitting and chatting online with the chairman of the People's National Movement, Mr. Marvin Gonzalez, who is also the MP for Lopino Aruca and former Minister of National Security, former Minister of Public Utilities, and former Acting Attorney General. Good morning and welcome.
Good morning, Chanel. I hope you're hearing me clearly, and thank you for the opportunity to speak to you and the people of Tobago and the wider national community.
Excellent. I mean, it's a pleasure to sit with you and chat again here on Tobago Updates. This morning...
Sorry, it was live in studio.
Sorry?
I say I'm sorry that it was not live in studio.
Right, exactly, which is always a lot better. But this morning we are, taking a different perspective. Last time you were here, you were telling us all about some of the projects that were happening throughout Tobago, from Tobago East right down to Tobago West. But this morning, we're talking about the dismissal of CPEP workers, along with a number of other topics, but primarily, this has been high on the People's National Movement's agenda, since entering office and the dismissal of these workers. Just give us a quick overview of that situation as we give the public some insight.
Well, I think the population is aware by now that a couple of weeks ago, the government, through its main spokesperson, the lying minister for CPEP, the Honorable Barry Padarat, announced that the government is looking at the restructuring of the CPEP program. And it came as a surprise when one day, over 300 CPEP contractors received notice of termination from the CPEP company, termination without cause or something like that. And as a result of that, over 11,000 workers were placed on the breadline. Now, that came as a surprise because the government, up to this point in time, has not revealed what policy changes it intends to pursue with respect to this program. Safe to say that they have been making all kinds of accusation against the former People's National Movement government, former government officials, sitting members of parliament, sitting members of council, what have you. But they have not stated what different it is going to pursue with respect to this program, and in so doing, their inability to state what policy program that they are intending to pursue, they have dismissed over 300 contractors and putting over 11,000 people on the breadline. The minister said and gave the assurance to the 11,000 workers that they will be re-employed, but we have questioned the veracity of that information, because the way in which the program is administered and executed, a government cannot assure 11,000 workers who are working in the program that they are going to be re-employed in the program. So as we speak, over 11,000 people have been placed on the breadline. The People's National Movement retained a group of attorneys who are taking issue with the decisions taken by the government with respect to the termination of over 300 contractors. The matter is set to be determined, or heard rather, at the end of this month. The attorneys are also pursuing injunctive relief to prevent the government from pursuing its decision until the hearing and the full determination of the matter. So we expect that at the end of this month, the application for injunctive relief will be heard and will be determined, and which obviously is going to effectively put a halt to what the government is attempting to do at this point in time, so that the court can examine the actions of the government and make a final determination on the matter. I can also assure you, and the matter that was filed is a breach of contract matter, which can have implications for all of the contractors who have been impacted by the decision of the government. And in the coming days, we intend to also pursue judicial review, to file an application for judicial review to take issue with the manner in which the government has managed the issue, as the program, and especially given the public pronouncement of the minister and other government spokespersons on this matter. So we are tackling it from a breach of contract issue, which is already before the courts, and in the coming days, we are also going to be taking issue or filing an action in public law judicial review to ask the courts to review this decision that was taken by the government on behalf of the workers.
And from the perspective of the People's National Movement, what would have been the appropriate mechanism to use to dismiss these contractors? Are you recommending that a report would have been laid before the Parliament, and then from that stage, then they dismiss the contractors based on the findings of said report? What exactly would the PNM have stated to be the right way of going about dismissing these contractors if this current administration has identified corruption in the way that these contracts were awarded?
Well, the thing about it is that the government has not demonstrated or provided any evidence of corruption in the manner in which these contracts have been awarded. Under our current procurement laws, if there are any issues with respect to the award of contract, we have an independent body that is charged with the responsibility to investigate these issues, which is the Office of Procurement Regulator. And that office was set up within our new procurement regime to investigate these very matters. And it is not for politicians to be involved in these matters. And that was set up for legitimate reasons, because oftentimes these matters are muddied by political to and fro's, and persons who have their own political axe to grind, and persons who have their own agendas to serve. And therefore, we have been telling the government that if you have any evidence of any wrongdoing with respect to the award of any of these contracts, then forward that to the Office of Procurement Regulator so that the matter can be determined. If any fraud or any breach of the criminal laws have been committed, then you can also forward that to the Anti-Corruption Bureau, the Trinidad and Tobago Police Service, etc. But you cannot, and that is the habit of this government since the assuming office over the last 3 months. They use the angle of making broad brush statements against the former government. And then once they put that out into the public domain, then it is now utilized as the platform for which you bring the program to an end. I have my views about that, and we are not foolish, and we understand fully what is happening. But coming back to the question that you've asked, and you're absolutely right, we've been asking the government that you are saying that you're going to restructure the program, and up to this date, you have not provided the policy, you have not provided the directions, you have not provided how you are going to reform this program. And so the government has to come clean. The government needs to tell the country, because at the end of the day, you have over 300 contractors, legitimate contractors that are impacted, persons who have their own interests. They have their interests because they are in legally binding contracts with the CPEP company, all right, for different periods. And over 11,000 citizens who are vulnerable citizens who are on the lower end of the economic ladder being impacted by this very, very critical policy or action by the government. And you would expect that a responsible government in approaching a situation like that should have exercised better judgment and prudence in how these matters are handled, because you're talking about over 11,000 workers, 11,000 citizens. And we are now in the vacation period. A lot of these people have financial obligations. They are sending their children to school. They have to provide their family with food to eat, etc. They are the most vulnerable citizens in our country, and you would expect that a responsible government would approach this in a very responsible and prudent manner, so that you don't impact the lives of 300 contractors, legitimate contractors, and 11,000 citizens. So far, the government has not provided the country with how it is going to reform the program as they have stated. And that is a very, very serious matter for us in the People's National Movement. But never believe that the government intended to reform the program. We know exactly what this was intended to do. It was to terminate, bring an end to the 300 contractors so that they can give to persons who are politically aligned with the present administration.
And you have stated in the past that this has been a move by this current administration to target particularly P&M contractors. But if it has been over 300 contractors that have been dismissed, how does one pin down that, okay, the contractors that are being targeted are specifically, P&M based supporters?
Chanel, that is and I hope I have the liberty to refer to you as Chanel.
Of course.
Yeah, Chanel. Right, good. Let me tell you this, right? It is very unfortunate that we have arrived at a juncture in this country where contracts that have been awarded under the previous P&M government, legitimately awarded, or persons who have been appointed during a transparent recruitment process under the P&M government, they are now being branded as P&M. And the government believes that they now have the ability to go after contractors, legitimate contractors, and persons appointed in the government. You're seeing what has happened in TSTT just a couple of days ago, where the CEO was terminated or fired, and the CEO was, notwithstanding the fact, I mean, you are in government, and every day state companies are employing people, they're employing executive managers, etc. The government agencies are contracting, they're engaging into contractual arrangements with contractors and what have you. But this government has taken an approach that once you enter into a contract under some time between the People's National Movement being in government over the last 9 or 10 years, and once you are engaged in executive recruitment or appointment during the tenure of the P&M, then you are P&M, and therefore they are coming after you. That is the approach of the government. So they believe that the 300 contractors who are engaged in contractual arrangements with the CPEP are somehow aligned with the P&M, and therefore must be removed with immediate effect. And that approach to governance It is very, very troubling. It lends itself to grave instability in a country. And I dare say it sets a very dangerous precedence for the country moving forward. Because when the PNM came into government in 2015, a couple months ago, the UNC renewed a lot of the CPEP contractors. And that was admitted by the former minister within the People's Partnership Administration, who is now a current minister in this government, Dr. Rudal Munilal. And when he was asked about it, he said, well, nothing was wrong with that. It's because it was done under his tenure. What did the PNM do? And the PNM came into government in 2015. The PNM did not terminate all of these contracts, but the PNM honored the contractual arrangement until the end of their natural life before it went back out to procure new contractors or additional contractors or contractors within the program. And you cannot tell me that over 300 contractors in the program are somehow aligned with the People's National Movement. In a country with 1.3 or 1.4 billion people, can anyone rightly say that in a program with over 300 contractors, all of these contractors are PNM contractors? Well, according to the gospel of the UNC, that is so. So over the 300 contractors, they are all PNM, and therefore they must be terminated, notwithstanding the fact that you're placing over 11,000 people on the breadline. It is just irresponsible government. It is government by imprudence, and it is governance by recklessness that is having a tremendous impact on the lives of innocent citizens.
Right. And, we have heard from this administration as it pertains to the CPEP program, and they have made a number of allegations as it pertains to the way that the People's National Movement has run that program. They claim that CPEP workers were used for campaigning during the election time. That CPEP contracts were given out as tokens to PNM financiers and supporters, and even that there were sitting ministers who have had relatives working in the CPEP program who were not even in the country. How do you respond to some of these allegations?
I think the last point that you raised with respect to relatives working in a program who are outside of the country, I think that one is in relation to the URP and not CPEP, right? Just to make that abundantly clear, but it's something that we could also discuss. But it comes back to the point that I've made a short while ago, Chanel, that the government, their playbook is to make all kinds of wild allegations, unsubstantiated allegations against persons or officials in the former PNM regime, and then use that to gut an entire program, thereby placing 11,000 people on the breadline. Assuming and not admitting, let's assume that what they are saying, let's say 10% or 20% of what they are saying is true. I'm not admitting it. I'm just assuming and that it may be true. Does that give you the right to terminate a program and put 11,000 people on the breadline? And that's the point I continue to make. If you have the evidence, then you have the appropriate authorities that you can refer these matters to so that they can properly be investigated, so that we can get to the bottom of it. That is how a mature democracy functions. That is how a country functions. But it is not the duty of politicians to engage in self-serving arguments to fit their political narrative and their political agenda, to get at their political opponents, and in so doing, you put 11,000 people on the breadline. And the responsible thing to do, Chanel, as I've continued to say, is to refer those matters to the appropriate authorities so that they can take action. But it cannot be justification that you can terminate illegally over 300 contractors and putting 11,000 people on the breadline. That is governance by recklessness. It is governance by vengeance or revenge, and utilizing some of these and cherry picking issues within a program that you should deal with, and using it to impact the lives of innocent citizens. That is just the wrong way in which you go about doing things. But it is all about trying to control the minds of people. It is all about throwing red meat to their base to support the government in gutting this program that they believe and they convince their supporters. They are all the people in that program, the contractors and people who are employed at PNM, and now it is UNC time, and therefore we should remove all of these people so that we can clear the deck to bring in our people. And that is what this is all about.
But
is what-
you know, there was a slogan by this current administration that said, when UNC win, everybody wins. And we heard from, Minister Patterath in regards to the persons who were placed on the breadline, stating that they can apply for public assistance if that is needed to help them. But we're in a situation where school is about to open and a number of families now have to, be able to prepare for kids returning back to school and to provide all that is needed. What is the PNM currently recommending to those persons who are now on the breadline and, not knowing where their next dollar comes from?
And that is the level of recklessness by this government. That is the level of recklessness by the line minister for CPEP, Barry Patterath. You are putting 11,000 people on the breadline as during this vacation period where people are concerned about getting uniforms and books for their children, and you are telling them that, you are free to go and apply for social grants from the Ministry of the People. And you would have noticed the statement issued by the same Ministry for Social Development and nothing burger, giving no assurance whatsoever to these workers. And that is the level of disdain by this government. I mean, couldn't this matter been done differently? I am not saying that the PNM's position is that a government has the right to reform any program it wishes to reform. But you have a responsibility to do it within the laws and in a responsible manner. And that is what we expect the government to do.
All right. And even as it pertains to that, the filing of the injunction and the legal case that is being mounted by the People's National Movement, what type of results are you expecting to see come out of that? Because, even if the court does award, the sum of the value of the contract to the contractors, which we have seen similar things happening in the past, how does that trickle down to the workers who have been dismissed?
Well, one of the things that we are asking the court for is injunctive relief, which is to stop the government from proceeding with its action, to give an order that the government adheres to the terms, or the CPEP company adheres to the terms of the contracts with the 300 contractors, together with the extension, because the attorneys are contending that the contracts are legitimate and the extension granted is legitimate. So that we're expecting that. But you asked a very, very important question, and that is the third action that we plan to file in court. The third action is with the industrial court, where we are filing those claims on behalf of the workers, and that these workers were illegally dismissed because they are in fact employees of the CPEP company, not with the individual contractors, because the CPEP company is responsible for paying them, and therefore they are employees of the CPEP company. And the manner in which the CPEP company went about handling this particular matter, we are asking the industrial court to intervene on behalf of the workers and give an order against the CPEP company to compensate the workers who have been summarily dismissed and illegally dismissed from the program.
Right, and even as we shift gears.
Mm-hmm. Sorry, I was about to say that we expect that the 11,000 workers will receive judgment in their favor when the appropriate action is filed in the industrial court.
Right, and because we have limited time this morning and I want to shift gears, but before we do so, is there anything that you want to say particularly as it pertains to this case of the dismissal of the CPAP workers?
Yeah, what I've noticed um, in recent times is that in order to control the narrative, the attorney representing CPEP, the attorneys representing CPEP, that is Mr. Anand Ramlogan, they are they are attempting to litigate the matter in the public domain. So the courts have set deadlines for the parties to file their respective affidavits on each other, and that is happening before the actual trial of the matter. But every time the attorney for CPAP company, Mr. Anand Ramlogan, files the affidavits in court, it is shared with the media. And that is the reason why you are seeing a lot of these issues with respect to cabinet approval or lack of cabinet approval being ventilated and dominating the discussions. And I find it to be quite unfortunate because these are matters that are before the courts, and the court will eventually adjudicate on those matters. And therefore, we are of the view that, well, first to begin, we are not going to respond to those issues because those are issues being placed before the courts, and we are not going to participate in any public discussion on matters that are before the courts. And therefore, the PNM's position is that we are not going to be baited into entering into any discussions on matters filed on affidavits so that the court can adjudicate on them. Those matters and the issues with respect to cabinet approval or lack of cabinet approval with respect to the extensions, the court is going to be the final arbiter on that. But with respect to this ongoing matter, if the other side, their plan is to adjudicate it in the court of public opinion, our position is that we have brought the matter to court and we will have our say, and the attorneys and the contractors will have their say in the court.
All right, and finally, even as it pertains to the state of emergency that we're now in, what is the PNM's position on, the latest calling of yet another state of emergency within a short, period of time?
Well, what this has shown, Chanel, is that the government never had a plan. With respect, this government has spent, or the UNC has spent 9 years in opposition, criticizing almost every policy decision, almost every bill, calling for the firing of Attorney General, calling for the firing of ministers of national security, asking the government to present its plan, telling the country that it has a plan to deal with the crime situation in the country. And if the country is to vote for them, they are going to implement their plan. Well, they were voted into office, and they have the opportunity to present their crime plan to reduce crime and criminality in Trinidad and Tobago. And the first major thing that they have done is to invoke a state of emergency. And up to this time, the UNC has not presented its plan for solving crime or reducing crime in Trinidad and Tobago. And if that is the calling of the state of emergency is one of the first initiatives of the government in the fight against crime, something that they criticized the PNM government for when it was called last year, then that should tell you everything, that they never had a plan, they will never have a plan, and that their conduct so far and their public utterances so far with respect to crime and criminality in Trinidad and Tobago should bother every right-thinking citizen, because it is quite clear now to all of us that they never had a plan, and nothing that they are going to do moving forward in this term will reduce crime and criminality in this country. The police commissioner was the first to address the nation, and the first that we've seen is what was supposed to be a confidential document moving from the commissioner to the National Security Council with respect to the calling of a state of emergency. That was the first document that was placed in the public domain. Then the police commissioner came out and he gave a press conference giving an explanation for the state of emergency. And a couple hours after, the Attorney General came forward giving another explanation for the calling of the state of emergency, including an attempt to bomb the office of the Attorney General and matters like that. And then later on in the day, the Prime Minister issued a statement giving other reasons for the calling of the state of emergency. So you have the Commissioner giving one reason, the Attorney General giving other reasons, and the Prime Minister giving other reasons. Three conflicting reasons as to why this state of emergency is called. The PNM's position is that we will support law enforcement and we will support the Commissioner and the TTPS in the fight against crime. And if there is a legitimate threat coming from the prisons and the police is of the view that the only way in which it can neutralize this threat is the calling of a state of emergency, then the People's National Movement will support the police in doing so, in quelling this threat to ensure that we have law and order in Trinidad and Tobago. But we have grave concern with respect to the functioning of the government and the behavior of the government with respect to this matter. And I can tell you this much. We have not seen the Prime Minister make any public appearance since last week, Thursday, at their post-cabinet news conference. Since the calling of the state of emergency, the Prime Minister has not made herself public to this country, to speak to the people of this country. During this state of emergency, we have not seen from her. We just heard that she issued a statement that purported to have come from the Prime Minister. And that, to us in the PNM, is very troubling, and we draw the country's attention to this reality. We have not seen the Prime Minister since last week, Thursday. And if that is not troubling, and if that does not trouble every right-thinking citizen, well, then tell me what is going to trouble us. So I need to draw the country's attention to this. And also, to draw the country's attention to the fact that the UNC campaigned on a crime plan, indicating to the country that they have a plan to solve crime. And the first initiative in the fight against crime is the calling of a state of emergency. That perhaps is an indication that when things are getting out of control and the government is under pressure, more state of emergencies will be called in this country because they never had a plan to deal with it in the very first place. They spent 9 years in opposition, criticizing almost everything that the PNM did in the fight against crime, and they never put themselves together as a responsible opposition that is now in government to deal with this very intractable problem in this country. And I am telling this country and putting this country on notice, do not expect any plan from this government with respect to the fight against crime and criminality in this country.
Understood. Now, we want to thank you so much for your time this morning and coming on and giving us those perspectives, specifically as it pertains to the dismissal of those CPEP workers and the state of emergency. We're going to take a quick break right here, and we'll be back with much more conversations right after this. See you soon.
Thank you very much.
It's a brand new morning, rise up to a brand new dawning as the passion starts. I beat and roll, we beat and roll. I beat and roll, we beat and roll. When the spirit hit me, I beat and roll. When the spirit hit me, I beat and roll. What to do? Let me see how stick you could get. See how stick you could get. Let me see how stick you could. See how stick you could. See how stick you could get. Let me see how stick you could get. See how stick you could get. Let me see how stick you could. See how stick you could. See how stick you could get. Wet me down, 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 wet me down. Right now I overeat it. Wet me down, 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 wet me down. Right now I over.
With Flow Business's new smart solutions, powered by super fast, reliable broadband, you'll feel like there are more versions of you working for you. From website design, development, and digital marketing to promote your business, 24/7 business class support to cloud solutions, security, and more. Multiply your growth today.
I see girls, I see fun, I see winding up in the sun, I see 10 bottle of rum, DJ start the thing, let me jump. Cause I see girls, I see fun, I see winding up in touchdown, everything get wild. Hey, hey, hey. Take out your flag and fling it up. Take out something and fling it up. Fling it up, fling it up high. Hey, hey, hey. Start to jump up and fling it up. Take out something and fling it up.
Hair goals, we've got them. At S&R Hair Fantasy, we provide a wide variety of quality hair, the latest hair accessories, adult toys, skin lightening products, female underwear, and much more under one roof. Check us out on Shelbourne Street in Plymouth or call us at 317-0808. We're open Monday through Saturday, 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. S&R Hair Fantasy for queens who know exactly what they want.
This is how it's gonna go. They better look up and look, 'cause this is your show, and everybody's gonna know. Say it to them once again. They better look up and look. This is your show, and everybody's gonna know. That's how it's gonna go. They better look up below, 'cause this is your show.
It's a brand new morning, rise up to a brand new dawning as the passion start to rise.
Good morning, and welcome back to Good Morning Tobago right here on Tobago Updates. I am your host, Chanel Felix. This morning, I have the privilege of sitting in studio and chatting with Mr. Mosi Janoon, who is an athlete and swim coach here in Tobago at the YMCA. Good morning and welcome.
Good morning. Thank you for having me.
Right. Now, there's a lot happening on the swimming front, right? Recently, there was that national tournament that you guys did, and you brought home some medals. You have an upcoming invitational at YMCA, and then there's all that's happening during the summer vacation at the pool, and for parents who are interested in, having their kids go out and learn how to swim. And then there's that national swim team appointment. So we have a lot to chat about this morning.
That's we do.
So you have a lot going on right now, right?
We do.
I'm guessing your schedule is very hectic right now.
That it is. But I'm very thankful that, the swimming community, we have this platform. Thank you for having us. And, we're doing pretty well.
Well, we are glad to know that, swimming is growing in Tobago. And you have a budding team and, young professional athletes who are going in the right direction in a place where, you can continue to wave that flag for Trinidad and Tobago, but specifically Tobago. Touch a bit on that national tournament that you guys recently had in Trinidad. We know that, we had Onella Walker and a number of other swimmers participating in that particular tournament, and yourself bringing home some medals. Talk to us.
So that competition was the National Short Course Age Group Championships. That was from the 9th of July to the 13th of July. So our team of 6, which is Onella Walker, Amaya Henry, Israel Jordan, or Antonio Jordan, and Michaela Oliveri, went down there under the tutelage of myself and Coach Rochelle, the assistant coach. And we did pretty well. We came back with 9 medals in total. We got 4 golds, 2 silver, and 3 bronze, if I remember correctly. And on top of that, beyond the medals, we have 2 members who made qualifying times for the national team. The national team actually just came out and they made it onto the national team. Wow. So that's one of our highlights of the championships. Inclusive of that, Onella Walker, she got 4 gold medals and she broke her own 50-meter backstroke record. So she was the old record holder and now she's the new record holder of her own record, and it's kind of a testament to how well the athletes and the determination and dedication that they put into their training sessions, because there's a lot of training that they do. We have 8 sessions a week, morning and afternoon, and they show up and they put out the work, and they get to see the results of it. In addition to Israel and Amaya, who made the qualifying cuts, we had Michaela, and this was her first time on the national stage, and she made finals in the 50-meter freestyle. It's one of the hardest events to make a finals in, you know.
Right, and that speaks to, you know, your capacity as a coach as well as, you know, Coach Rochelle, and the work that you guys are doing and the standard of training. You know, where do you see your athletes going? What is the height of success for you as it pertains to what they are training to attain and what parents can get involved in when they decide to get their kids into swimming down at the YMCA?
So the goal is, for sure, we would like all our athletes to make that national level, either at the Goodwill level, straight up to Olympics. You know, Onella Walker is the closest we have, who was some seconds away from the last Olympics. So we're kind of working to see how we can get there at the LA Olympics. For the ones of them who are not at that age as yet, we have Youth Olympics that's actually coming up and Pan Am Games. So our goal is we really want to push all of the athletes and them to try and be on the national level as best as they can. You know, once they come to training and, like I said, they put in the work, then we go to the national level and they try their best and put their best foot forward to meet these national teams. We have Carifta, we have CCCAN, we have Pan Am. And beyond that, you know, it's also more than swimming. You know, it's where we try and breed that discipline into the athletes as well, because those who get up at 5 a.m., it's easy for them to wake up in the morning to go to school. They don't distress their parents when they have to get up early in the morning because they kind of get accustomed to this routine. And, you know, we're trying to bring better citizens into the island of Trinidad and Tobago more. So Tobago, that, you know, this is what we're trying, the upbringing of the athletes, because we have them about 3 hours every day, you know.
Right. So, and talk to us about that invitational and why it's important for, you know, parents and, you know, the youths to come out and support, even if they're not participating, but to just come and see what's happening in Tobago, come and see the level of performance that we have as it pertains to swimming among the local athletes.
So, well, the YMCA Invitationals, that's on the 9th and 10th of August, is the week before Great Race. If you're trying to remember the date, is the week before Great Race. And this is where you get to see, like, the upcoming athletes, the ones who now starting on the ground floor. Because a lot of times when we start to cheer athletes and we start to give them that praises after they won a medal in Olympics or they won a medal at Carifta or Goodwill, you know. So this is the kind of opportunity where you kind of get to see, you know, those budding athletes, those little small breakthrough stars that's starting from the ground floor up. And, you know, last year we had 300 athletes across Trinidad and Tobago that came to Tobago to participate and register to compete at the events. And we had 650 people that were at the venue, you know. So it's good to see that, you know, swimming is on the up and up. We are now being a little bit more exposed into it, you know, and still there's a lot of people who come to me and say that, you know, they don't know how to swim. And I was like, we have so much programs at the YMCA for all ages, starting from 6 months straight up to Kingdom Cup.
As old as you can possibly be.
Go. Yes.
Right. And, you know, I'm glad that you mentioned that. Tell us about, you know, some of the early learners programs, some of the starter swimming courses, and, you know, for persons with zero swimming experience.
So we have a program, which is our Parents Untouched program, that starts from 6 months and it goes up to 4. So in that program, what we do is the guardian or parent, they come into the water with the child and we will now teach the parent how to teach their child to swim. So in a way, it's like you are learning how to teach your child. So in the off season where you go to the beach, you can now train your child. And then when you come back, it's just like a refresher course on new things to learn and teach them. So from the ages of 6 months to 4 years, you can do that. And then after that, when they turn 4, then they go into our Learn to Swim program. That's like an after-school Learn to Swim program. That happens between the hours of 4 p.m. to 6 p.m. So from the ages of 4 to 17, that's a program that they can do. That's $300 a month. I forgot to say that the Parents Untouched is $200 a month.
Okay.
All right. So the after-school program, that goes from 4 to 17 years of age. Once school is open, you can come down to the YMCA and you can register. When school is closed is when that program more or less closes off. Then after that, for the adults, we have adult learn to swim. That's between the hours of 6 to 7 p.m. So it's outside everyone's working hours.
Right.
So nobody can say that there's no time to swim.
Right, and it's so important to even for the persons who are into like health and fitness as well.
That's correct.
You know, even if you already know how to swim, to diversify your routine. So, you know, sometimes you do the cardio, sometimes you do that swimming, sometimes you might do that weight training, sometimes you might do CrossFit. So, you know, it is important to get that mix.
And in addition to that, we also have aqua aerobics in between the adult learn to swim. So we have people who do both the programs where they do aqua aerobics and they do the learn to swim. And we have, I know one lady who, because sometimes I teach the adult learn to swim as well, and she's very excited after she swims. She's like, okay, I'm going to see you tomorrow because I have an aqua aerobics, you know. So it's nice that they get to blend and we have all these programs open to everyone. And there are people who come to start the adult learn to swim program who make sure the first thing that they say is like, Coach, I have no idea how to swim. I panic if I put my head on the water, and it's like, that's no problem. We have people who started that way. We have people who couldn't put their face in the shower.
Wow.
And then from there, you know, they came to the program, they learned to swim, and then they went Jamaica and they swimming away.
Wow. And, you know, I know there's also that senior citizens rehabilitation program. Tell us a bit about that for persons who may be doing therapy and just want to get into the water. You know, I know that you do have a session for all persons.
So we have the aqua aerobics as well. So in the morning sessions, most time that's when the seniors come out. I guess it's easier with regards to the time frame. So the aqua aerobics program, it's kind of tailored to those who may have aches and pains and joints because it's a low impact activity.
Right.
So you get to keep moving. Other than that, we do have the pool facility open for those who want to do therapy. So most people who want to do therapy, they have their own, I guess, therapist that was appointed to them. And then they will come down to the pool facility and, you know, it's $50 where they pay to go use the facility and they get to do their recovery, do all their therapy in our facility. So we open it up to anybody who needs that pool facility to do their therapy. It's open to them.
Right, and, you know, talk to us about, you know, when is the next intake for classes and stuff, or is it that persons can just walk in, register, and join?
Anybody could walk in. We're taking everybody. But so right at present, we have camp going on. That camp started last week and it runs up until the end of July. We still have, well, this week is fully booked. So you can join up for next week. You can come down to the pool and sign up. We have camp for next week. It's $250 for that week.
And what is the age group for the camp?
Age group for camp is from 5 to 17.
5 to 17.
Yeah. Right. Then after, we would like to start back our afternoon programs, which is in between the hours of 4 to 6. So if anybody's interested in kind of getting into our Learn to Swim program, we would advise you call the pool 631-0070. Give us a call. You can schedule where you come and do an assessment, and then from the assessment, then we would know which level the child is at, and then from there they join our after school programs, learn to swim. If they want, they can go onto the swim team. If they don't want to do a swim team, there's many coaching options available. That's another goal that we have with when they go through the learn to swim program, is they have two options where they either join the swim team, or, you know, if they should be knowledgeable enough that when like a cousin or a family member say, I want to know how to swim, they can now say, don't worry, I will teach you how to swim.
Excellent. And, you know, we want to congratulate you and the team at YMCA for all the work that you're doing, you know, not just there, but to also work on establishing and developing that swimming sport on the island and advocating for, you know, greater attention to be placed there. You know, for you, you know, recently they had recommissioned that pool up at
Kendall.
You know, how important is it for this administration and even for sport development on the island to, you know, pay closer attention to not only erecting these facilities, but maintaining them and putting the relative, the qualified persons there to, you know, help manage these facilities?
So it's very important. It's really lovely to have two different facilities on the island that could, you know, some could take care of the West. Some could take care of the Westerners and the Easterners as well. With regards to the staffing, you know, most of the staff on them that goes to or that work at the YMCA facility are certified. We do ASCA level certification 1 and 2. So even up at Kendall and down the road, most of the staff, they are certified enough to train and get the children where they need to go. And, it's really great that, they are looking to help everybody all around,
Excellent. Well, we want to thank you so much for your time this morning. Guys, we're going to take a quick break right here and we'll be back right after this with much more conversation. See you soon.
It's a brand new morning, rise up to a brand new dawning as the passion starts.
Are you in a dispute with a registered investment service provider of the TTSEC? Or maybe you're the victim of an investment scam? You can lodge a complaint or submit an anonymous tip to the Trinidad and Tobago Securities and Exchange Commission. Download our Investor Protection app or go to ttsec.org.tt to access our complaint form or submit an anonymous tip. Write a clear summary of your complaint. Submit copies of supporting documents along with the originals for verification. Provide a copy of the feedback received from the entity regarding your complaint. All investor complaints or scam reports submitted by the public are acknowledged and reviewed by the TTSEC. Investigations are pursued based on the outcome of the review. Trinidad and Tobago Securities and Exchange Commission, protecting the interests of investors and the public. You invest, we protect. Everyone benefits.
So guys, there are some new developments in housing in Tobago. So it's goat racing time. This is 116, the show that keeps you in the know with all things Tobago House of Assembly. Each week, 116 delivers a fun and engaging overview of the latest developments, achievements, activities, and events of our dynamic assembly. So join me. Let's dive into the Tobago House of Assembly's Week in Review right here on 116.
TNTech is pleased to advise that its Roxborough Service Center has reopened. Starting Monday, 10th March, customers can once more visit the Roxborough Administrative Building to pay TNTech bills, request new connections, and more. TNTech, powering the nation into the next generation.
Welcome to Tobago Glass Supplies, where innovation meets excellence and service reigns supreme.
Well, I want a proper window for me house, yeah? I want no shake thing in my place.
Our commitment is simple: to provide high-quality, innovative aluminum, vinyl, and glass solutions for both commercial and residential spaces.
We get one wall on the side and we get one hole. You can put a window there, invent something, a window for put there.
At TGSL, we don't just meet needs, we exceed expectations. Our range includes the finest aluminum cladding options, setting new standards in durability and style.
Well, me meet ya. Me don't know who I'm talking to, but me cousin Tufina tell me for call all you go get proper thing for put there. Me don't know.
Driven by our passion to elevate, we aim to be the leading supplier in the Caribbean market while retaining our identity as a family-owned business.
Driven? No, I ain't driving. I get a bus ticket. One of me pick me, them go drop me down there. Must bring me down there. Russo Trace Springer, down by the page down there.
Because at Tobago Glass Supplies Limited, it's not just about products, it's about relationships. It's about you.
It's all about me? Who's your family? You know Edna and Dorka and them, you know them, but you resemble them Edward boy and them Edward people, them you.
Tobago Glass Supplies, Russo Trace Spring Garden, telephone number 639-6266. Innovation, quality, service. That's Tobago Glass Supplies Limited.
Welcome back to Good Morning Tobago right here on Tobago Updates, guys. This morning, as we continue our discussions, we're talking about all that's happening on the island for Emancipation Day, and that is the Sunset Brunch, right? Good morning, guys. How are you doing? This morning, I have in studio with me King Byron and Jaheim Charles.
Yes, please.
Right, and they're both promoters from the Winning Team Entertainment. Good morning and welcome.
Good morning, and thank you for having us.
Right, so this morning we're talking all about the Sunset Brunch. Tell us what Sunset Brunch is about and why it's important for persons to come out and celebrate that Emancipation Day in style.
Well, Sunset Brunch is a brunch that's going to be hosted by us, Winning Team Entertainment. It's 5 young professionals, myself, our founder, King Byron, 3D, Selector 3D as everyone knows him, MC Flambeau, and Selector Douge. We are going to have Sunset Brunch on the 1st of August at Healing Garden. Everyone should be familiar with Le Chateau, Richard's men's store. We're going to have it there. It's going to be on August the 1st, as you mentioned, and everyone should come with the intention to enjoy themselves, have a positive experience and a mature experience.
Right, I love that you said mature experience. So what is the vibe? What is the music like? What type of music do we expect coming out from this brunch event? What is the dress code?
All right, so speaking, well, I'm a DJ, so we're trying to incorporate as much genres as possible. So reggae, R&B, not too much of dance, so because it's more mature, I should say, soca, for sure, Afrobeat. So it's more, not to say corporate, but at
more
the
mature audience you're targeting.
Yeah.
Excellent. And you said it's a brunch party, and when we think about brunch, we're definitely thinking about coming out, and having some really good food, having some mimosas. What's on the menu and what's at the bar?
Well, definitely you're gonna have mimosas. You're gonna have mimosas on entry. Then we're gonna have things like doubles, corn and pigtail, corn stop, a little childhood remnants of snow cones. Yeah, alcoholic and non-alcoholic. If you want to have that, we're gonna have tequila sunsets, hence the name Sunset Brunch. We're gonna have daiquiris and a lot more to offer. We can't tell you everything right now.
Right, and what is the price for the ticket for the event?
Well, as of right now, unfortunately for some patrons, we just sold out on our general, which was $300. But we do have a 3-on-1 for females, which is at $750. Then we have late tickets, because the event is so close, at $350.
Excellent. And that's a seal of a deal when you talk about $350 for an all-inclusive event.
Most definitely.
True.
So you have free drinks and you get food on that ticket.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
and endless vibes.
Endless vibes.
An endless vibe, right?
Yeah.
And so what time is the event starting? What time should persons be there at the venue? Again, what is the dress code like? So you said it's mature, it's brunch. Is it giving resort wear? Is it giving florals? Is it giving bright colors? It's in the daytime, sun. What is the vibe?
We most definitely urge persons to wear what they feel comfortable wearing. If you feel comfortable wearing more corporate wear, resort wear, or even floral, which we encourage you to wear, because if you've ever been to the Healing Garden space, it is in itself florence, rejuvenating, and healing. The event is from 2 p.m. to 8 p.m. We urge persons to come as early as possible. Yeah,
right, because we want to get in on the food.
Exactly.
The good food and the good drinks.
Exactly.
Right?
We want to make sure you're filled, have everything that you need to sustain you for endless vibes.
Excellent, excellent. And is there anything else you want to tell persons as it pertains to where they can get their tickets from?
All right, so you could contact any of us, me, 3D, Jahim, Flambeau, or Douche. We have different contacts. You could hit us up on Instagram or the winning team page, winning team _ entertainment on Instagram. You could contact me at 742-8568. You could contact Jahim at
305-5951.
Excellent, and you guys would be delivering those tickets, right?
Yes, definitely. I would be delivering on a jet ski, a horse, just you name it. I will be there.
Well, we look forward to that, and we look forward to having a great long weekend again. You know, we live for the long weekend, right?
Yeah, most definitely. Immediately after our event, there's Black Saint Entertainment R&B at Comforting. You should definitely check them out. Their tickets are going right now as well.
Excellent. Well, you know, we like to see the support for even other entrepreneurs
most
and other
definitely,
promoters, right? So again, there's a lot that's happening during that Emancipation weekend, you know, from the 1st of August go right back. There's a lot to do. If you want to have fun on the island, you know, this is an event that you want to be a part of. Very classy, very mature. You know, you have that fun, you eat, you drink, you go home. You have a safe, enjoyable time. So again, we have the Winning Team Entertainment team here with us this morning, and they are talking all about Sunset Brunch. And you know, they already let us know that the tickets are now $350. And if you know about all-inclusive events, you know that $350, that's really a seal of a deal, right? And so you get mimosas on entry, and you get local breakfast food. And I'm guessing that it's an extensive menu that you can choose from.
Definitely.
And I look forward to coming and eating and having a good time as well. So see you there. Guys, I want to thank you so much for being a part of this morning's discussions. Thank you for your likes, your shares, and your comments, and all that you have been doing and continue to do to make Tobago Updates the #1 broadcaster here on the island of Tobago. Again, I am your host, Chanel Felix, and we hope that you do go to Sunset Brunch. Have a great day.